In a world drowning in digital noise and endless notifications, the ability to focus is becoming a lost art. Most of us are losing the war against distraction. We check our phones the moment we wake up. We live in a state of constant, fragmented attention, and it's costing us more than we think. Social media apps are engineered to be addictive, like slot machines in your pocket. They hijack your brain's reward system, making deep focus nearly impossible. But for a select few, this ability to concentrate without distraction isn't just a skill. It is the ultimate competitive advantage. Welcome to Book Bites Guru. Today, we dive deep into Cal Newport's masterpiece, Deep Work. This book is the blueprint for mastering your mind in a distracted world. Before we unlock your potential, make sure to support us. Subscribe, like, and follow Book Bites Guru so we can continue bringing you these life-changing insights. So what exactly is deep work? Newport defines it as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. It's similar to the concept of flow. It's when you are so absorbed in a task that the world around you disappears. This is where true satisfaction lies. This type of work creates new value, improves your skills, and is incredibly hard to replicate. It is the work of a craftsman, an expert, a master. In contrast, we have shallow work, non-cognitively demanding, logistical tasks like checking emails and endless meetings. These are easy to replicate and create little new value. Newport cites research on attention residue. When you switch from task A to task B, your attention doesn't follow immediately. A residue of your attention remains stuck on the first task. This means if you constantly check email, you are essentially working with a partially distracted brain all day. You are never fully present. Why do we do this? Because in the absence of clear productivity metrics, we use busyness as a proxy for productivity. We equate doing lots of things with creating value. Here is the reality of our modern economy. The ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare. And because it is rare, it is becoming increasingly valuable. We live in a winner-take-all market. The best programmer, the best writer, the best investor gets the vast majority of the rewards. Being good enough is no longer enough. To succeed today, you need two core abilities. First, the ability to quickly master hard things. If you can't learn complex tools and systems fast, you will be left behind. Second, the ability to produce at an elite level, in terms of both quality and speed. You can't do this with fractured attention. You need deep, unbroken focus. Science backs this up. When you focus intensely, you wrap your neural circuits in myelin. This insulation makes your brain faster and stronger. Distraction prevents this. Newport's equation is simple. Quality work equals time spent multiplied by intensity of focus. If your intensity is low, you have to work much longer to get the same result. Deep work is your superpower in the digital age. It is the key to unlocking the wealth and freedom you desire. Don't let distractions steal your future. This is just the beginning. In the next video, we'll cover the 4 deep work philosophies to help you implement this in your life. Grab the book below and subscribe to Book Bites Guru now. In part 1, we established that deep work is the superpower of the 21st century. It's how you build wealth and master hard things. But knowing why isn't enough. You need to know how. You can't just wish for deep work. If you rely on willpower alone, you will fail. You need a philosophy, a structure. Cal Newport presents 4 distinct strategies. First, the monastic philosophy. This is the most extreme. It involves cutting yourself off from all distractions completely for long periods, months, or even years. Think of a writer retreating to a cabin to finish a novel. No email, no social media, just the work. It eliminates all shallow work obligation. But let's be real. Imagine telling your boss you'll be offline for 3 months. In most modern careers, this philosophy is simply impossible. It is professional suicide. Second, the bimodal philosophy. This asks you to divide your time. You dedicate clearly defined stretches, days or weeks, to deep work, and leave the rest for shallow work. Carl Jung did this. He would retreat to his stone tower for weeks to write, then return to Zurich to see patients. It requires high control over your schedule, but it allows for deep immersion. You don't need a stone tower, a 4-day weekend retreat, or purely dedicating your Saturdays to deep work can work. But you must be strict. During deep time, the shallow world does not exist. Third, and this is the one I recommend for most of you, the rhythmic philosophy. This argues that the easiest way to start deep work is to turn it into a simple, regular habit. You schedule deep work for the same time every single day. Maybe it's 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. By making it a rhythm, you remove the need for willpower. You just do it. Jerry Seinfeld used this method. He wrote a joke every day and marked an X on his calendar. His goal wasn't just to write. It was, don't break the chain. Consistency compounds. Finally, the journalistic philosophy. This is for the advanced practitioner. It involves switching into deep work mode at a moment's notice, whenever you have free time. This requires the cognitive fitness of an elite athlete. You have to be able to go from 0 to 100 instantly. For beginners, this usually fails. Stick to the rhythm first. Whichever philosophy you choose, you must support it with rituals. Don't wait for inspiration. You need a strict ritual to transition your brain into focus mode. Your ritual needs a location, a specific spot you go to only for deep work. When you sit there, your brain knows. No emails allowed here. It needs rules and duration. I will work for 90 minutes. I will not use the internet. I will produce X words. Define the success metrics before you start. And sometimes, you need a grand gesture. J.K. Rowling checked into a luxury hotel suite to finish Harry Potter. The high cost forced her to focus. Put some skin in the game. So, which philosophy fits your life? Are you a monk? Or will you adopt the rhythm? Decide today, because a plan without a philosophy is just a wish. In part 3, we'll discuss the rules of the game, how to train your brain to embrace boredom and quit social media. Subscribe to Book Bites Guru so you don't miss it. In part 2, we built the structure, the 4 philosophies. But structure alone isn't enough. You can schedule deep work, but if your brain is broken, you won't be able to focus. Most of us have broken brains. We have wired ourselves for distraction. Every time you feel a moment of boredom and reach for your phone, you are physically rewiring your neural pathways to crave stimuli. Rule number 1, embrace boredom. You must retrain your ability to focus. This means when you are standing in line at the grocery store, do not pull out your phone. Just stand there. Teddy Roosevelt had amazing focus. He would storm through books with such intensity, he could recite them back. He trained this by setting impossibly short deadlines for his work, forcing extreme concentration. Think of focus as a muscle. Roosevelt didn't just try to focus. He did mental calisthenics. If you only lift weights when you feel like it, you'll never get strong. Rule number 2, quit social media. Or rather, apply the craftsman approach. Most people use the any benefit approach. If there's any benefit to using Facebook, I'll use it. Try the 30-day experiment. Quit all social media for 30 days. Don't tell anyone. After 30 days, ask, was my life better or worse? You'll likely find you didn't miss much at all. A craftsman uses a tool only if it has a massive positive impact on his core work. Otherwise, it's distraction. Audit your tools ruthlessly. Your attention is your wealth. Rule number 3, drain the shallows. We spend our days drowning in shallow work. Email, meetings, admin. We need to contain this to make room for the deep. Newport advocates fixed schedule productivity. Decide you will stop working at 5 p.m. no matter what. This hard constraint forces you to be ruthless with your time during the day. The solution is time blocking. Schedule every minute. If you don't give a minute a job, it will be stolen by shallow work. Be intentional, not reactive. To really supercharge this, Newport borrows from the 4 disciplines of execution. Discipline 1, focus on the wildly important. Do fewer things, but do them with excellence. Discipline 2, act on lead measures. Don't look at results, lag measures. Look at the hours of deep work you put in, lead measures. That predicts your success. Discipline 3, keep a compelling scoreboard. Track your deep work hours visually. People play differently when they are keeping score. Make it a game. Finally, rule number 4, the shutdown ritual. This is critical. You must disconnect completely at the end of the day. No checking email after dinner. The Zeigarnik effect states that incomplete tasks dominate our attention. If you don't close the loop, your brain keeps working on them, draining your energy. Create a shutdown checklist. Review email inbox. Update to-do list. Check calendar for tomorrow. Only then can your brain relax. End with a phrase, shutdown complete. It sounds cheesy, but it works. It's a mental switch that tells your subconscious, we are done. Rest now. Idleness is not a vice. It is necessary for deep work. Your brain needs true rest to replenish the energy required for intense focus. By embracing boredom, culling distractions, and respecting your rest, you turn your mind into a finely tuned instrument. You become capable of feats that others find impossible. In our final video, Part 4, we will synthesize everything and show you how to turn this into a life of financial freedom. Subscribe to Book Bites Guru. The journey isn't over yet. We have traveled a long road together. We've defined the enemy, distraction. We've built the structure, the 4 philosophies. And we've trained the brain. Now we ask, what is it all for? You are here because you want financial freedom. You want to build wealth. And deep work is the engine that drives that engine. Let's connect the dots. Most people are trapped in the busyness paradox. They work 60 hours a week but produce very little value. They are motion without progress. They are busy, but they are broke. There is a law of productivity. High-quality work produced equals time spent x intensity of focus. If your intensity is low, you have to work endless hours to survive. Think of your attention as capital. Every time you focus, you invest that capital. Every time you distract yourself, you squander it. How are you investing your attention capital? In the new economy, average is over. AI and automation will eat average work. If your job can be done while distracted, it can probably be done by a robot. You are competing with algorithms. What can AI not do? It cannot replicate deep, creative, complex problem solving. That is the domain of the deep worker. That is your moat. That is your safety. Newport argues there are 2 groups who will thrive. 1. Those who can work with intelligent machines. 2. Those who are stars in their field. Both require deep work. To work with intelligent machines, you must master hard skills quickly, whether it's coding, data analysis, or complex financial modeling. You can't learn these with shallow attention. To be a star, you must produce at an elite level. In a global market, being the 10th best isn't good enough. You need to be the best, and the best work deeply. Let's talk ROI, return on investment. The ROI of 1 hour of deep work is 10x, maybe 100x, the ROI of an hour of shallow work. One deep insight can change your entire portfolio. Think of Warren Buffett. He doesn't spend his day on Twitter. He spends it reading annual reports. Deeply, that is how you find the alpha. That is how you beat the market. In Part 3, we'll discuss the rules of the game, how to train your brain to embrace boredom and quit social media. Subscribe to Book Bites Guru so you don't miss it. Think of Warren Buffett. He doesn't spend his day on Twitter. He spends it reading annual reports. Deeply, that is how you find the alpha. That is how you beat the market. Skill compounds, just like money. Every deep work session adds a layer of skill. Over 10 years, the difference between a deep worker and a shallow worker is the difference between a millionaire and a pauper. But remember, humans have limits. Newport suggests the maximum capacity for deep work is about 4 hours a day. You cannot force it beyond that. Quality over quantity. Take deep breaks. Walk in the woods. Stare at a wall. Let your subconscious process. Do not fill the gaps with social media. That destroys the recovery. Imagine waking up in 10 years. You answered every email immediately. You attended every meeting, but you built nothing of value. That is the tragedy of the shallow trap. Wealth isn't just money. It is autonomy. It is the ability to say no, to control your time. Deep work buys you that freedom because your skills become too valuable to ignore. Close your eyes. Imagine 5 years from now. If you commit to 4 hours of deep work every single day, where will you be? What skills will you have? What wealth will you have built? But it's not just about money. It's about a life well lived. Newport argues that a deep life is a good life. There is a profound satisfaction and focus that scrolling can never provide. It is the flow state, the moment where time vanishes and you are one with your craft. This is where happiness lives. Don't trade this for a dopamine hit. When you look back on your life, what will you see? A blur of emails and tweets? Or a legacy of deep, meaningful work that changed the world and built your fortune? Here is the truth. Only 1% of people will do this. The other 99% will continue to scroll. They will choose the easy path. Be the 1%. Be the outlier. The choice is yours. The shallow path is easy. It is crowded. It leads to mediocrity. The deep path is hard. It is lonely, but it leads to the stars. Here is your final action plan. 1. Pick your philosophy. 2. Build your ritual. 3. Train your focus. 4. Quit the shallows. Start today, not tomorrow. Today, you are now part of the deep work revolution. You are a Book Bites guru. Go out there and build something great. If this series has unlocked something in you, please subscribe, like, and share. Help us spread this message. And if you haven't yet, buy the book. It's the best investment you'll make this year. I'm your host from Book Bites Guru. Thank you for going deep with us. Now put down the phone and get to work.